Parker Bohn III, who has 2 big victories. Resin bowling balls, Bo?
Both players using resin balls, Chris. All the top 5 today, or 4 today for sure. We're using them. George, both players are thirds, but only one of them will be number 1 after this game is over. Here they go for the Firestone Tournament of Champions title.
A 4-7 for Parker Bohn III.
Parker Bohn averaging a fabulous 262 for his first 2 match victories, and that's the first time he's missed the pocket in almost 15 frames. So off to a little shaky start, but a lot of action left.
All right. Match game play. His record 20 wins, only 4 losses. Now a 48-game average of 226. That's our tournament leader. George Branham III of Indianapolis needs only 1 win for his first major title. 10 pin for the 30-year-old in his second Firestone. He was 35th in 1987.
Almost a clone of the great styles that we see on the Pro Bowlers Tour today. Everything in perfect position. George, a little bit more of a power player with that wrist cock and just snaps it. Ready, let's go.
So this is a match where $93,000 will be distributed. 60 to the winner, 33 to the runner-up.
Never really headed in this tournament. Had a little faltering in the first round of match play. He dropped to 8th, but then just dominated the field on Friday.
Oh, that's the way he's been striking throughout the 48 games, and now he's in the final. And Parker Bohn opened with a spare, shooting now in the second frame, right lane.
Get up.
Advantage Parker Bohn at this point. Even though the match is tied, he's loose, he's bowling fantastic, very confident. As you see, George Branham going to a little powder. He says with the reactive resin balls that he uses, and almost every player out here uses, he has a trouble hanging up in the thumb a little bit, so he uses a little powder, which is legal if he keeps it back off the settee area. Has to keep it away from the approach. Now, here for the lead, Parker Bohn.
Come on, yes!
All right. A very, very big double.
George, who bowled a 245 average on this championship here, a 5-step delivery, very solid all the way through, had a 300 game this week, and is 1-1 in his career from the number 1 seed.
Leaving a 4-pin. Not his usual form on that shot, Bo.
Tried to help a little bit.
Yes.
Watch George, he'll snap that wrist a little bit more. George, a power player, very strong individual, works with weights all the time, and went to the power snap, as we call it, and didn't get a good break and trip out to 4.
George Branham said that his win earlier in Baltimore this year inspired his leadership of the tournament this week.
Well, the last few years I've been bowling pretty well, and I felt that I need a little bit more confidence. And winning Baltimore gave me all the confidence I needed coming into this week. And now I'm leading the Firestone Tournament Champions, and hopefully I'm going to take the title.
Incidentally, those answers came this morning at a wonderful breakfast staged every year. We're in Fairlawn, Ohio, a suburb of Akron. Founded in 1870, the first building on the campus. This is the championship match for the Firestone Tournament of Champions title. Parker Bohn, who has won 2 matches coming to the title game, now against the tournament leader, can up his lead to 20 pins, double up, shooting in the 4th frame. All right. Mike Albee can sure grab different types of folks, Mike.
Obviously here with the king. Dell, gutter balls in the right-hand lane. You're playing way inside. throwing it out over the left-hand gutter, possibly a gutter and a left-hand gutter.
Yeah, you know, if I'm going to throw one in the gutter, it's definitely going to be in the left lane. It won't be in the right lane. But hopefully this week I can throw another gutter ball and still win.
He'll be playing a much deeper inside line than any of the players who have been forced inside. However, this man has the fiery hand. He is just bowling super.
Six pin for lefty Parker Bohn.
See that extreme inside line of Parker Bohn playing between the 4th and 5th arrows from the left-hand channel. Ball drifts just a pinch high. The 3 goes around the 6. With a spare here, he will maintain his 19-pin lead.
Okay. Immense pressure on these two professionals that have yet to win a major title. They're battling for it right now.
Big George, deep inside, right here, needs this shot.
Gets it. Coming up next, ABC's Wide World of Sports features American Shannon Miller's gold medal winning performance. It's the women's all-around finals of the World Gymnastics Championships, plus a wet and wild look at bodyboarding from the Bonsai Pipeline and preview of next week's, yes, Kentucky Derby.
The world of straight arm swings and power down to the final match. The Firestone George Branham can take the lead. 6 frames.
Leads by 1 as his wife Jackie looks on.
Parker Bohn III trying to be the first left-hander to win the Firestone Tournament of Champions since Steve Cook did it in 1981. A tournament that in the earlier years was dominated so much by lefties, but they've been out of the winner's circle in over a decade.
And Parker Bohn, remember now, he has 2 victories, shooting a 266 over Dave Houston's 183, and then 258 against Dave Ferraro's 209.
One pin difference, 4 frames left, both players working on a strike. Firestone Tournament of Champions at stake.
This is what a championship match should be. Close. And the unexpected happening. Parker Bohn III. This week, Brandywine Falls is the backdrop for the Tournament of Champions trophy.
Just think, guys, a few more of these and we get a vacation.
But until then, you're mine.
Oh, no.
There's no escaping it. Bowling returns May 29th.
We all love these two people, Peggy and Eddie Elias. Eddie, the founder of the PBA. Great friends. The finest.
The brightest star on the PBA horizon, he still shines brilliant as George Branham III needs to get a strike to regain the lead. 7th frame.
Oh, what a battle.
Chris, you talk about heavy roll. I've heard you say it in boxing. A guy is a heavy hitter. Well, both these players have heavy rolls because they're wrist players with good inside-out swings, and they are really punishing the pins today, the championship match. George Branham playing an extreme inside line. He's going to slide over in this area. Very critical to get loft, speed, control, and control your nerves.
And it's a 10-pin for the stalker. Seems like George Branham III gets lower with each shot on the approach.
A little wide on this shot, but a good point, Chris. That's what he should do, is drive down with those knees. He's got the powerful upper body. Use it. He's right in the match.
Terrific athlete, his brother. Terrific collegiate basketball player.
Played for the University of California, made the Sweet 16, I guess they call it this year. And his brother, Richard, 190 average bowler. Parker Bohn taking a re-rack on 28, lane 28. As the situation is simply this. George Branham trails Parker Bohn by 10 pins. Parker can extend that lead to 20. He has 2 strikes working, 8th frame.
Joy in the previous shot on this lane, and now the 4-7-10.
We got a great break in the previous frame where he tripped out the 6-pin. Now he's in real trouble as he cuts through the middle, leaves the 4-7-10. A little bit easier for the left-hander as he can get the ball to the left side of the 4-pin, slide it over in the 10. If he does not convert this spare, George Branham will have the lead.
Parker Bohn, winner of 2 games coming into this title match, going against George Branham III, the tournament leader, who's been impressive all week. There you get a look at him preparing for his next shot. Now in the 9th frame, Bohn. With a vengeance, puts them all away.
Now it's all up to Parker Bohn. It's in his own hands. He controls his own destiny. However, George Branham still has a potential 249.
A 4.
All right, for George, make the 4-pin. Be really solid in the 10th. He'll need a mark here and a mark in the 10th to lock up his first major. Watch the 2-pin. Left-hand part of your screen go around the 4. George practiced this spare before he went on the air, so they'll handle this one easily. Now, Chris, it's all up to one shot. Here's what George Branham can do. If he gets 2 strikes and 7, he locks it up.
Okay.
If he doesn't, Parker Bohn can still win.
Repeat that.
2 strikes and 7 for Branham. Lock City. If not, Bohn can win.
Okay. A 4 again.
As many Firestones in previous years, they have come down to the final ball, the final frame, and that's what we're going to have here. George Branham with a conversion and a full count will end up 227. Force Parker Bohn to strike 2 more times. Got the spare.
All right. There's a difference of 27,000 in winning or being runner-up. More important than that is winning a major championship, which neither has been able to do thus far in their career. Branham with 3 titles, Parker with 9.
Right now, Chris, for Parker Bohn, he needs 2 strikes and a 4 count. And this is a major. If you do poorly in a regular tournament, there's always next week. However, this in a major, if he doesn't perform here, he has to wait until next year. 1 at a time.
Oh!
George Branham's the new champion.
Well, there's joy in Fairlawn, Ohio for Jackie and George Branham. Sheer disappointment for Parker Bohn III. ABC Sports presentation of the professional